Texting. We are back. Welcome back to a Man Up Monday. It is the post-Super Bowl, what do you want to call it, recollection, whatever. Hope you had a great post-mortem, whatever it was. We are back in the mid-sec. That is the redoubtable one himself, Thomas J. He was the highly questioned one. RJ, Ronald J. Migliaccio. IDD, for those of you who know, I do not disagree. Segment 1, Super Bowl 58 is in the books. We have a new dynasty, boys and girls. The Kansas City Chiefs showed up, showed out, got knocked down, got back up, knocked down, got back up again, and then for good measure put their size 13 right up a certain 49er ass to escape with an overtime classic 25-22. Cue the Swifties. So
it's a love story, baby, just say yes.
That's a Giants fan, by the way.
And a Swiftie fan.
In any event, she didn't play, for those of you who didn't know that. But in any event,
I thought she was great last night.
The Chiefs have now won 3 in 5 years. That is the textbook definition of a dynasty. So they now join they are the first since the Patriots. So we have a dynasty.
How many dynasties have there been like that? You got Patriots, Niners, Dallas.
The Steelers. 5.
That's basically
in the Super Bowl era.
Super Bowl era.
Yeah.
Did the Packers ever do anything like that in the Super Bowl era?
They won. Now, what the Packers did is weird because they won the last NFL championship
before
and
the
then
merging? Is that what
they
you mean?
won Super Bowls 1 and 2. So technically, they won 3 in a row. But that was
last NFL championship, meaning before the merging of the two.
It was the last NFL championship, and then they had the Super Bowl the next year. That was the merger of the NFL and the AFL. Which became known as the AFC and the NFC, and the rest is history. So
the Packers
the Packers were the dynasty before the Super Bowl era.
Was that with Lombardi?
Yes.
Okay.
So, which is why he's on the
trophy.
trophy.
That's why everybody loves him.
So, and look at they have 13 championships, 4 Super Bowls, 9 NFL championships. But again, that was before the AFL. So. Which is why a lot of people don't regard them as that because they didn't play everybody.
Yeah.
So, but they had 4 Super Bowls, so they're certainly. But they won them. They're the one team. Actually, it was the Giants that won in 4 different decades. The Giants have never had a dynasty per se, but they've got 4 Super Bowls. They won in 4 different decades. They're the only franchise to do that in the Super Bowl era. So there's a lot of history that comes around when you start seeing teams and players do what they did and Mahomes did and what Kelsey is doing. So, and justifiably so. They have now earned that.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're in the conversation. They're in a dynasty. Now it's, all right, well, how far can they take it?
Yeah, how big
can they be? They're chasing something. They're chasing him. Okay? Let's be honest. They're chasing him and Bill. But again, if we're being honest, he hasn't passed Montana yet, and they haven't passed the 4. The Niners won 5 in 15 years. That's the next best thing.
So what does he have to do to pass Montana? How many does Montana have?
4. He's got to get 4.
Oh, Montana has 4?
4.
And
so does Terry Bradshaw has 4.
Right, yeah.
So he's with 8.
But nobody really looks at Bradshaw like Montana, right?
Here's the thing. And
is that just because he's a goofball?
The question, no. But the thing you have to ask yourself, and we do this with the NBA all the time. So if the rules were different, what would these quarterbacks have done statistically? Because to me, that statistic is so overblown because the rules are different. The game's different now. It's played differently. I'm not saying it's better. I'm not saying it's worse. I'm simply saying it's different. So, I said this to someone the other day.
So you're saying the comparison is difficult because it's not apples to apples.
It's not apples to apples.
So it will never be.
No, it won't. But this is why when I say this guy's chasing Brady, Brady's the only quarterback to win in both eras. That right there makes him the GOAT.
So he's actually got to do more than Brady.
He's got to do more than Brady, and plus
to really be able to say he's the GOAT.
Plus, here's the other thing. Here's the other elephant in the room, and this came right from the horse's mouth. This was in the wake of the win. Where is it? I just had it right here. To me, it will always be tough because Brady beat me in the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes and the Tom Brady comparisons. There you have it.
See, and I always said he's never the one saying
I'm
better than Brady.
I never said him.
Yeah, I know.
It's not him.
I know.
Okay, so and I said before that game on yesterday that he was the best player in this era.
Yeah, no doubt.
And he is.
Mm-hmm.
And he proved it again yesterday.
Yeah.
He wasn't perfect. He threw a pick. He was sacked 3 times. But
when it mattered,
they left the door open.
Yeah, exactly.
And I've seen this before.
Exactly.
Okay? So when I said to him today, I said it's the Brady effect. Now it's Mahomes. Brady was 10 points just by standing on the field. Mm-hmm. That's the Brady effect. And now he's seeing what it looks like with someone else. Mm-hmm. So I've seen it before, so I know what it looks like. And that's why I sat here on Thursday.
Dude, I saw it before.
But that's why I sat here on Thursday like you did, and I said the Chiefs are going to win this damn game, one way or another.
Dude, I saw it on the other side. You saw it loving it. I saw it hating it.
But I know when a guy's got that, I know what it looks like.
That
was my guy.
He did it to the whole fucking...
Yeah, but you didn't see Brady.
I hated
Did you watch every game Tom Brady played?
Of course
no,
not.
I did. That's
not.
the difference.
No, but I don't watch every game that Mahomes plays.
He's got that factor.
In every big game I saw Brady fucking do it.
He's got that factor. The only 2 blemishes on his mark are the guy we're talking about twice and Joe Burrow, who got injured. So, look, here's the deal, and this is what I love about Brady's era. The rest of these quarterbacks didn't take it lying down. Okay, in Brady's era. Manning 2, Roethlisberger 2. Okay, Breeze 1. Those guys didn't just bow to the goat. They went after him.
Yeah.
So here's the real question, and nobody's asked it. Who's going to have the balls of all these multi-talented quarterbacks who are going to bend over and let them, or are you going to do something about it? Because that's the real question. Because if you just lay down, this is going to be a joke.
I mean, I know the one who I think immediately.
It's Joe Burrow.
But Joe Burrow's already done it.
Yeah, and he's
not talking about him.
Yeah.
Who's another one? I have one in my head.
Who?
And it won't be next year.
Who?
And it might not even be the year after.
Who?
But I think C.J. Stroud could eventually do it. With seeing him in year 1,
I put C.J. Stroud at the top of the list.
I mean,
I'm with you. To me, it's Burrow, then it's him.
Right. Well, but Burrow's done it too.
Yeah, Burrow's done. But I'm saying, Burrow's young too. He's not going anywhere. So
that's true. He's got to do it again.
These guys are all, but he's got to do it again. He's got to stay healthy. He's got to stay healthy. As far as Lamar and Josh Allen go, those 2 can just go. Until one of them actually is standing in the Super Bowl, I'm not listening to any more talk about their talent again. Because they're everything that I despise about people who talk about, all the talent, because they prove me right every time. And I should love them for that, but I wish they would actually live up to their talent, but they have yet to do it. Does that mean they're ever going to do it?
They want to.
It's not about want.
I know, but I'm saying they're not over there being arrogant.
It's not about want.
They can evolve, but they need to evolve.
It's about commitment. Okay, and the thing about the Peyton Mannings and the Bradys, the reason you guys is not their talent. Yeah, they have great arms and great. It's their work ethic. There was a podcast last.
Do you know
Thursday.
about their work ethics? Though?
I know Brady's.
No, everybody knows those. They're well documented.
I'm
talking about Josh Allen.
But the thing is, they should know. They should know about what it takes because Tom Brady didn't magically happen. He worked his ass off to get it. And the same can be said about Peyton and Eli. Those guys, don't be fooled. These guys put the work in the offseason, all of them. So did Breeze.
Everybody does.
No, not everybody does. No, that is not true. I'll tell you how I know it's not true. Because last Wednesday on a podcast, the NFL had 5 receivers on it. One of them was Julian Edelman. And these guys were talking about him. What was the thing about Brady? And he said, I'll tell you what the thing about Brady was. I can remember a February 28th. Stop right there. February 28th, all 5 of these guys sat up. You know why? Because on February 28th, everybody in the NFL is on vacation. Nobody's working. The Super Bowl is 2 weeks gone. Nobody's doing a fucking thing but sitting under a palm tree drinking pina coladas. Except Tom Brady. And Julian Edelman goes, look, man, we talked about this. And here's the best part about it. Then Julian goes, yeah, Brady would have me out on a field in Northern California on February 28th, and we're doing the 2-minute drill. And it's just me and him, and we're going up, we're doing sets of 10, and he's calling the play out. All right, Eagle 67, you're the Y, you're this, and I got to run the route. Boom, runs it to the line. All right, he's calling the play out. All right, and the receivers are all sitting up like they discovered fire, okay? And they're all going and they don't believe it. And Elman's just laughing at him going, you want to know why he's who he is? And they all knew it because none of their fucking quarterbacks ever did it. None of them. So don't fucking tell me they all work the same way.
Dude,
because
I didn't
don't.
say they worked like Tom Brady. You're changing what I have.
No, I'm not. I'm saying they don't have his. That's the thing. But that's how he got there. They don't have his work ethic.
Right. No, I'm not saying that. I'm talking about right now, though. Because Eli didn't work as hard as him.
He worked harder than these motherfuckers I'm looking at now.
I know that.
I do know that.
You don't know
I do know that. I'll tell you why. Because, you know I know that? Because Josh Allen
You're acting as if all it is hard work.
No, it's more than that. Yeah, well, talent alone ain't enough. And I give you those two as Exhibit A and Exhibit B. And that's why I always laugh when people like you go, "Oh, this guy's more talented." Fuck doesn't mean shit. Doesn't mean shit.
No, but
doesn't mean shit.
It can be true though.
It's not true. Okay, they don't have.
We're not saying he's a better quarterback.
How on earth is Josh Allen? How many years has Josh Allen been in the league?
I don't know.
6 or 7.
Okay.
He's making the same mistakes now that he was 6 years ago.
Right.
You know what that means? He ain't putting the time in because he ain't learning a fucking thing. That's a fucking fact.
Maybe.
Okay? He made the same fucking bonehead decisions in that game that he made last year.
So you think like the same thing about Brett Favre?
Yes, Brett Favre, yes, I do. Brett Favre had $1 million arm and a 5-cent head. And he proved it. He proved it time and time again.
You could never say somebody outworked Tom Brady. Everybody knows that.
I'm not saying
but I don't know. But he's special.
I'm wondering how hard they work at all.
He is 1 in a billion.
Josh Allen, from a talent perspective, is special. So is Lamar Jackson.
Right.
Look at these motherfuckers.
I'm talking. We're not talking about talent. We're talking about mentality.
I'm saying, where is their mentality? How can you,
dude? That is not in everybody.
Well, I got news for you.
That is not in everybody.
First of all, that's not something. That's a mindset. You can change your mindset. Well, I got news for you. After watching this again, these fucking guys don't go out this offseason and punish themselves for it. Then there you go. Because if I'm looking at this again next year when that team's getting older and slower, bullshit. Okay, I don't want to hear it. Okay, and I know Joe Burrow's going to do it, not just because he did it, but because he knows he can.
Is he injured?
He'll be healthy. Training.
How did he get hurt? Didn't
he
get
his
hurt?
Leg. It was his leg.
Did he tear something?
No, he didn't tear something, but it required surgery. And so
I hope he can work.
They were like, no, they shut him down, which was the wise thing to do.
But I mean, in the offseason, I hope he can.
I think he will. I think he'll be ready. But I'm saying these guys, and look at this. To me, this is what separates Mahomes. It's not his talent; it's his work ethic. Because Lamar Jackson, no one's going to tell me he's more talented than Lamar Jackson. Josh Allen, he's not.
Yeah, he's not.
He's not. Okay, he outworks them in the offseason. Yeah, that shows. It shows. But it fucking shows.
He's also just got that fucking feel. Like he belongs. He belongs on that fuck. He knows what the fuck he's doing.
But you know that comes from that.
No, I know you're right. You're right.
It comes from that.
But there aren't a lot of people willing to work that hard.
Well, Eli and Peyton and Roethlisberger, these guys are all going to the Hall of Fame. All of them, they're in. They're already in. They're all fucking in. Breeze, in. Rodgers, whenever he fit, in. Okay? Mm-hmm. These guys worked at it. They weren't going to sit down and take this lion down. And they didn't. Mm-hmm. They all got rings. Yeah. Okay?
I still don't think they worked as hard as Brady.
Nobody did. But they didn't take this lying down. Right now, looks like these guys just bending over and going, what angle, Patrick? Which way would be good for you, Patrick? How about this, Patrick?
They took him to overtime.
Oh, please. Stop. Now, I'm not talking about Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy has as good a chance as anybody.
That's probably because of his team.
I think he's good.
I think so too.
He wasn't the problem last night. He was not the problem last night. Okay? He played well. The problem is
that. Did you hear what he said about his performance?
He probably blamed himself.
Yeah.
But that's why I think.
Exactly.
See, he's that's the thing. He gets it. That's why I have faith in him. Okay, but the thing is, like, look, if you look, the Niners defense, 455 yards. This team, the last time Chiefs broke 400 yards? About mid-season. Okay? What? What?
They went old school Patriots.
200. They went old school Patriots. They had 2 weeks to prepare for them. How the fuck does that happen?
Okay, but you have to. So look, they've been doing that all playoffs, so this comment is not going to be completely true. You do have to give them credit for being tough after Greenlaw tore his Achilles.
That is unbelievable.
Because that maybe.
So he was running. Did you see this? Did you actually see the replay of it?
He was down. He was bouncing.
He was just jogging out to the field.
He was bouncing on the sidelines. And he bounced up and landed and tried to take off. Oh, and you saw his calf go. Yeah. You know when the calf vibrates?
I know. It happened to me on the pickleball court. Yeah, that's what happened to me.
No, yours didn't snap.
Oh, yeah, it did.
No, yours stretched and you could see through it, remember?
It tore.
No, but remember it was like... It pulled so far that there was like a...
It tore. They had to replace it.
No, I know, but it didn't do the...
Yeah. I didn't feel the...
It
did, trust me.
When I see the reverberation in the calf, it's like... So, dude, I mean, the fact that they lost him...
Special teams?
They held him to 19. And the offense turned the ball over twice.
We said they had to play
San Fran defense.
They actually got the Chiefs to turn the ball over, but the damn offense couldn't do anything with it. So again, where does the blame pie go?
It's tough because they all had moments of like, what the fuck are you doing?
It was a multiple soil session.
I don't.
There were soils everywhere.
I don't know
At
that
one
it was
point,
a blatant soiling.
It was a blatant soiling.
The special teams blatant soiling. Because they muff punt and the missed extra point. You can't miss an extra point in the Super Bowl.
That, to me, was the game. Because if they had to
They would have had to score the touchdown.
And by the way, if they had run the ball again, not stop the clock. I mean, it was twofold what they did
Stop
there.
the clock with the pass.
With the pass
And when
play.
Spagnuolo called the blitz off the side.
Yeah, just run the ball. They were starting to get to him. They ran for $130.
They probably would have ran for first.
They probably would have. Like, fucking, they're blitzing on the edges. What the fuck do you do? It's like, wow. Look, but this is the thing.
That was a team loss.
It was a team loss.
It was a team loss.
I don't know who gets the most of the shit pie. I mean, they all took they all had a sampling of it.
2 turnovers.
Yeah, Brock Purdy is the only one who I think didn't mess up. He didn't mess up. He never turned.
He might have missed a throw or two here, but it wasn't. I mean,
He wasn't.
He played.
It
good.
wasn't egregious.
Yeah,
Nothing with him
good.
was egregious. To me, he gets a pass.
Yeah.
I think everybody around him let him down. And it went to overtime.
Debo getting hurt, Kittle getting hurt.
Yep.
Those hurt him too.
But they came back in the game.
I
And
know.
before they got hurt, they weren't doing anything.
Yeah. Well, maybe. Yeah. 'Cause
Before they got hurt, they
Kittle
weren't doing
definitely
anything.
didn't get
Kittle,
hurt prior to
2
that.
catches, 4 yards. Now,
Debo never seemed like Debo.
Here's where the coach gets the blame, okay? Because when you got 2 weapons like that, and before they get hurt, they're not getting any touches. That means other guys. You got to force the ball to Debo. He's a game
Could
changer.
some of that have been Purdy? Being
I
too
don't.
conservative.
I don't know what they were. They moved him around at times. So look, they were trying to get him involved, but they didn't really. You got to get him going. And you got to get him going early because he has that cheetah-like effect on a defense. He fucking goes, you go, whoa, because he does that. So I don't know how, to me, it's not like they didn't try. They didn't try hard enough. And Kittle's was a no-show.
Yeah.
He was a no-show. And I don't know why.
But
in the
again,
running
was he
game, you weren't-
blocking all game?
I don't know. But I know this. He had 2 catches for 4 yards. You're not going to tell me that there weren't more opportunities for him.
Yeah.
They ran 70
Well,
plays. Don't tell me.
There was something really weird about that first half because Kelsey had 1 target for 1 yard on 1 catch in the first
Well,
half.
I can tell you how that happened. Those 2 linebackers we were talking about. And then one of them went down, and then look what happened.
No, but he went down the first quarter.
No, he went down in the second quarter.
No.
Yeah.
It wasn't that
yeah,
late, was it?
It was. It was near the end of the half.
Are you sure?
He didn't not go down in the first quarter. Not even close. I think it was the third quarter, actually.
No.
It was either early in the third quarter or late in the second quarter. It was not.
It could have been the
quarter.
first quarter.
I don't think it was. I think it was later than that because they had played a bunch of series. It was like 10-3.
Let's see. Oh, God. Tears his Achilles. Poor guy.
They're going to show it.
That sucks. That's the same guy that got thrown out because of fucking Dom on the sideline.
I mean, but the thing is, the Niners weren't the same after they lost him. Put it that way, at least on defense. But that doesn't mean the offense.
With 9:26 left in the second quarter.
So second quarter, okay.
But I mean, almost the full second quarter.
Well, they lost.
So he really only played 1 quarter.
Yeah, basically. And don't think that didn't help.
No, you're right. Because, I mean,
You can't lose
the
a player
Chiefs
like
might have
that.
got like 2 more possessions
I'm saying that. Well, yeah, it was that time. Yeah,
in the second
he was
quarter.
coming out for that possession.
Yeah.
So when it happened, so look, the thing is a lot of things went their way, but a lot of things were self-inflicted. They had to play a clean game. I don't call 7 penalties and 2 turnovers a clean game.
No.
I don't call 3 for 12 on 3rd down a clean game.
No.
Okay.
Not everybody takes some of it.
And the thing
Players
is,
play calling.
you know, to me, it was at different times. It was like the first quarter was this guy, second quarter that guy, third quarter these guys, fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It was a different. Every quarter, somebody seemed to soil themselves. So McCaffrey's fumble in the first quarter.
That was bad.
I mean, that was bad. They were going
right through him.
And the one thing they couldn't do was turn on the first fucking drive. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, so look.
Yeah, when it looked like you were about to come.
But we sat here and said this was going to happen. And I said
The
to you,
crazy part was, as it was happening, I didn't really believe it, and you kept going. It's happening.
We said this.
and
literally.
I was like, man, it looks like San Fran's gonna win this game.
I'm like,
And you were like,
nope.
there's so much time left.
And
I
they
was
didn't.
Like,
and
There's
remember,
not that much time.
I said to you on tape, it's going to be 3 to 4 points, and he's going to get the ball back.
last. You said he'd get the ball last.
He did.
Which happened, but he only tied it.
Yeah,
But then he got it.
Then
last.
he got last again.
Did you know they asked him if the Niners had scored a touchdown? He said
On the overtime.
In the first possession.
yeah.
He said we would have come down, scored a touchdown, and went for 2. And you know how exciting that would have been?
To see him try it, yeah.
You get to see him try, and to see him not get it or get it, it would be amazing.
I can answer you. They didn't do a thing until that kid got hurt. Because that was the second quarter. First quarter, the kid from San Fran. First quarter, that offense, that San Fran defense.
They didn't do anything way after that.
They stonewalled them.
But they didn't get shit going until...
Yeah. But he hadn't been sacked all playoffs. They sacked him 3 times.
They came out in the second half and didn't do a goddamn thing with the ball.
The thing about it is, this is when the Niners because the Chiefs finally didn't play a perfect game. They had 6 points. They had 6 penalties themselves.
Yeah.
Mahomes threw a pick. They fumbled. They had 2 turnovers. They didn't have a turnover the whole playoff. Mahomes hadn't been sacked. He was sacked 3 times. They were there to be had.
They made mistakes. In OT, they were about to get San Fran off the field, and they held the receiver. And I kept calling it a bullshit penalty, but it wasn't. The guy held.
You can't. He grabbed his waist around the waist,
and it was called. It wasn't. It wasn't a blown call.
No, it wasn't.
And it extended that, and then they got down in the 10, inside the 10.
He stopped running the ball
and just blew it.
Stopped running the ball.
I mean, the 3rd and 5 play.
I mean,
and this thing throws
this
the
is
ball.
Where here's the thing. Where were Debo and Kittles? Because that's why you have those two.
You can't.
Because everybody knows about McCarron. Oh yeah, you can. The tight end. Fade route, and Debo either end around.
The defense can't cover both of those guys.
Why weren't they in those? I don't get it. This is what I don't get about. This is where the coach gets the shit burger from me. And I was saying he was going to overthink it. Where the fuck were those two in the red zone? Yeah, there's no way if those two are on the field and with McCaffrey, they stopped them in there. With Ayuk, there's no fucking way they stop them in the red zone.
And that line, just run behind fucking Trent Williams. Jesus. But
San Fran blew this.
They asked Chris Jones about the end of their possession in overtime. He goes, I think that was a blown play. Because he goes, nobody blocked me. Remember on the 3rd and 5 in overtime when Purdy just had to get rid of it? And I think a guy might have been open. Chris Jones was like, nobody blocked me. He was like, I think it was a blown play. He's like, because
there's no way I'm not. How am I not getting it?
Why would you not?
I'm the one guy you are getting.
Right. So he didn't sack him, but Purdy had to just
get rid of it.
Launch it, and then they kicked the field goal. And that was the end of the game.
And I said, it's over right there.
That was the end.
And they were looking at me. I threw my hat. I'm like, it's over. He's going to go down and score. And he did. It's over. You just knew it was coming.
And he finally looked like him on that drive.
I'm saying. The Niners defense was gassed.
Yeah.
It's like, what the... I mean, this is the thing. Like, the offense blew this game. Yeah. They should have put up 35 on them, no sweat. But they fucked around. Yeah. I just don't... This is the thing. And this is the Mahomes effect. Just do what you're supposed to do in the red zone. No sign of Kittles. No sign of freaking Debo. That's utterly ridiculous. In the Super Bowl? How are those two not in every fucking play in the red zone? No, doesn't make any sense.
And then you get into overtime, and it seems as though you were not prepared for overtime.
They didn't look. No.
The coaching staff nor the players.
No. And this was one of the reasons why we picked Kansas City. The coaching advantage. KC looked way more prepared for that situation than San Fran did.
Even though San Fran marched right down the fucking field on offense.
Talent. That's talent.
But then the defense,
when it comes down to the execution, notice how when Kansas City has to do that, they don't go.
Well, the funny thing is, Kansas City wasn't even perfect on their final drive.
They weren't. But the thing is, they were good enough.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
They were good enough. Yeah. And I just sat there watching it going, oh, God. This is the worst thing.
Dude, he hit Rashee Rice on that.
I just walked away.
That was a nice play.
I went and got and I just walked home. I said, thank you for loving me. Let's do it again sometime.
Well, you threw your hat across my house.
First I threw the hat across. I know. I threw the hat. I threw my Celtic hat. This is how mad I was.
Dude, I
threw my Celtic hat.
It's so ridiculous that you threw your hat over.
No, it's not. I was mad.
It's not even, you don't give a shit about either one of them.
No. What I give a shit about is my eardrums hurting for the next 6 fucking months. Because every fucking donkey out there that hates Brady is going to, and there's a lot of donkeys out there that hate Brady because they're donkeys. And they're going to, Mahomes is a goat already. How come, let me ask you a question. How come Tom Brady had to win 4 to get...
Travis Kelce said it last night.
Yeah, but Patrick doesn't. Even though...
You know, Booger McFarland said it too.
What? That he's the GOAT?
He said he's the greatest player I've ever witnessed.
It's fucking ridiculous.
So then when he's
the guy he's chasing,
he was interviewing Kelce and it was Berman and Booger, and they were interviewing Kelce and Mahomes at the same time on the stage, and he was like, I mean, is he not the greatest player ever? And Kelce was like, greatest ever, man. And then Mahomes, of course, did not acknowledge that. He was just kept talking.
Yeah, because Mahomes can add. and subtract.
Yeah.
And by the way, the quote that I read to you earlier in this episode, he said it himself. Brady beat me in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, he was 43 when he beat him. Okay? Okay. And for good measure, when he was 40 with a different team on his field, he beat him then too.
Dude, that Bucs
But
defense.
he's better than him?
The Bucs defense was sick, though.
But he's better than him?
Yeah.
Bullshit. Well, the Pats defense when he beat him in KC was 31 points. And he still beat him. They gave up the best defense. I'm saying the point is that, look.
Dude, you know I agree with you on this.
So, but the point is, I keep saying that this is the dumbest country in the world, and they're going to prove it right now. Okay, on top of the Trumpsters, those clowns, and I'm talking to you. Yeah, you're a clown. Okay, the bottom line is this: anyone saying that this guy, and God love Troy Aikman, saying this guy's better than Brady right now, honestly, you should lose your right to speak. Just it's blatant disregard for 23 years with Brady, and he beat this guy twice. Past the age of 40, I made it.
Once in the championship game, once in the Super Bowl.
He's the only 2 or 3 losses he has, and the guy that you're saying he's now better than. Wake up and smell the hummus. Are you kidding me? What
hummus?
Whatever it is, anything.
Hummus, does that even smell? I guess if it's got garlic in it.
The garlic is pretty good. Yeah. Wake up and smell the hummus. The bottom line is this. Okay, Mahomes is the best player of this generation right now, and until somebody steps up and takes it from him, it's him. But all time, stop. Just stop.
He's only 6 years in.
It took him 5 years to win 3. Brady won his first 3 in 4 years. Everybody keeps forgetting that little fact. Everybody, he did it in 5 years. I'm like, yeah, Brady did it in 4. And Brady did it when the rules were different. Okay?
Let's stop talking about Tom Brady.
So anyway, no, because I'm going to hear about it for 6 months. I might as well get it a first shot.
I'm only hearing about it for.
But anyway, the thing is this: the Niners had many chances to put this team down, and they didn't. And if you don't put a team down with a guy like that, they will get up and beat you. Okay? And that's what they did, and that's why they earned that. They won it. Give it to them. They won it. Okay? So it's 3 and 5 years. They are the reigning dynasty.
Did you see they won the game on the same play they won the game with against the Eagles?
I did not see that.
So you remember last year when they were doing that play where the receiver faked going in motion?
And then went back.
And caught it right out there?
Yeah.
They did that against Philly and won the game, and they did it again. It was called Corn Dog or whatever was the name of the play.
Corn Dog.
But they were asking Andy Reid. I love hearing guys like that talk about the game because, I don't know, it's kind of like how Patrick was talking about they completely knew about the clock, how the clock didn't mean anything.
Yeah.
They knew that, if they scored a touchdown, they still had a chance to score. I think it was 3 or 4 49ers players were asked about it, and they were like, yeah, we didn't know that.
I didn't know that. That's what I'm talking about.
And so it's just like there's
exactly
slight little differences.
This is why everybody last week went, yeah, but.
Yeah.
More talented team, but.
And the crazy thing is, it seemed like the way the Chiefs were talking, everybody knew. Not like Mahomes knew because he would be the whole team knew. Whole team. And it's like.
That's called coaching.
Yeah. And even like hearing the defensive players talk after the game, like the one guy was talking about Spagnuolo, and the play calling, and in the first half they were like, what was the difference, He's like, well, in the first half we were running zone. That was our plan coming in, was to run a zone.
Yeah.
He was like, but it wasn't working. So in the second half, he said they went to man.
Yeah.
And I mean, kudos to them. They were able to man up with all those fucking.
This is where the coach for San Fran really gets raked over the coals. They went man on you, and you didn't crush them for it
with those weapons.
With all those weapons. That's what you needed. Oh my God! This is like the Baltimore thing. They sat in a nickel. They're daring you to do it. You can't do it. You can't. It's like.
But dude, that Chiefs defense has some good people in the secondary.
They don't have anybody that can cover Debo one-on-one.
Well, they did it yesterday. I don't know if they were covering him one-on-one.
I don't think they really covered him one-on-one. I don't think. The point is, I don't think the Niners were looking for it.
I don't know. I mean, obviously they switched up on him.
This is what I'm talking about. They were going to throw something at them, both of them, that they weren't going to be ready for, and they were going to overthink it. This was what I said about it. He didn't, in his mind, believe that KC would ever be dumb enough to go man up on that. That's what he was thinking. And then when they did it, he fucking dismissed it. Like, no, they're not really doing that for one play. Whatever. And they did the whole fucking second half. They did the entire fucking second half. Okay? Yeah. And by the way, when the guy goes in motion, then you know, if the guy falls him, you know it's man. Okay, so This is the thing. Now, he asked a valid question. Did Brock Purdy not see this and make the slight adjustment or call an audible or something to maybe a different play to match it? That's the question. I don't know.
But I think everybody takes part of it.
Again, everybody I'm saying.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The coach should have noticed it.
Yeah,
if your quarterback's not noticing it, you call timeout and go, are you fucking looking at this? They're going man to man. Yeah, coach them all. So, I mean, again, this is where KC, the coaching met at Edge. That was the check, and there it was.
Yeah.
So, and all of that, and they won by 3 in overtime.
Yeah.
So
because they were the better team.
So but the thing is, the more talented team pooped themselves.
Right.
Okay. So the KC wasn't good enough to run. KC, if KC was really good, talent, would have blown them out for that.
You know what Chris Jones said?
What?
He was like, I can't remember what he said, but he was like, all year I felt like Baltimore was the best team in the league. Chris Jones, a member of the Chiefs, admittedly said we weren't the best team.
He wasn't the only one.
And Mahomes said the same thing.
Yeah,
he was like, everybody's great. It's about
that moment,
rising to the occasion and being the better team that day.
Yeah.
That's
the thing about the NFL. It's that day.
It's that day.
There's a movie called Any Given Sunday. That's why they call it that. Yeah. Okay. You could be and again,
I think there's something humbling, that's humility in my opinion. Understanding that there's better people out there than you.
That's how you work. That's why they work harder, because we're not where they are now. And by the way, if we want to get there, we're going to have to go through them at some point. So we better get our shit together.
Yeah.
And to their credit, they did.
It's that mentality.
Yeah. But that's why they've got 3 Super Bowls in the past 5 years. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm here to tell you that they're going to win again next year if somebody doesn't take their head out of their ass.
That burp was raunchy.
So, that burp was the Niners. That was the Niners. That's the stench coming from the Niners sideline.
Dude, so we didn't really talk about our calls.
I think we were both right.
I know we were.
And by the way, that's really bad. We both got it right. That both the coach and the special shit.
But the real pooping of the pants was Kyle Shanahan not deferring on the coin toss in overtime.
That was the icing on the
because
that was the cherry on the sundae.
I always say it on here. I don't know that much about the X's and O's of football. Yeah. I love watching football, but I don't know that much. But as soon as the 49ers said, we'll receive it, I was like, that's not what they should have done, right?
By the way, he said that out loud at the party.
I was like,
that's not right.
Yeah, he said, you don't want to get the ball first.
Why are they doing that?
Yeah, you don't want
when they're both going to guarantee the possession.
Exactly. And it made me think of the Giants, I think it was against the Jets, when neither of them could move the ball and they let the Jets tie it at the end of regulation. And Tommy DeVito was the quarterback. And they wouldn't let him throw. This was his first time coming in.
Yeah.
So he had -7 yards passing. Oh. And Brian Dable won the toss and said, we'll receive. And you put your shit quarterback out there. They couldn't move the ball, and now the other team can win it with a field goal.
Yeah, field position is everything.
So with this one, it was like, okay, so you both get a possession no matter what.
Yep.
And But if you go first and kick a field goal, they can now beat you
But the other thing is this. With 2 inept offenses, it's all about field position. So if your defense gets some 3 and out, maybe gets a sack.
Yeah.
So because they get the ball at the 25, right, on touchback. Now they're punting from the 15. That's field position.
Yeah.
Now you're probably getting it to around the 50. That's where you're starting, as opposed to they start at the 25.
Yeah.
That's where the deferring, especially a game like that, is everything.
Yeah, but also
because they get the possession. Now you're in position to win it right away.
But I think it's really more about hey, if our defense is going to give up a touchdown, we want to know. You know what I'm saying? Because if
I think it's like
because if it's tied, if
both defenses are shutting their offense down, make their offense prove it.
Prove it. No, but here's my thing is. If you go first, okay, and you get the ball to the 40-yard line of the other team, and then it's 4th and 7, you kick the field goal.
If you get that far.
No, but I'm saying you kick the field goal, right? But now the other team can fucking come down and beat you with a touchdown.
This is where the analytics don't matter. And that's why I laugh and they said it on the Sports Hub today, and they're 100% right. That 2 for 1 like a basketball thing that's not taking into account the other team's quarterback. And if it's Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes or Joe Montana, you don't do that. because those three in particular will make you pay. And I've got the rings to prove it on all three of them. So I don't get that. And again, that's where Shannon Poopahan overthought it. He should have been like, that's Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Let's find out what we get. Let's put him out there.
Let's see if we can stop him.
Let's see if we can hold him to a field goal, because then we know we can win this, and we know we can move the ball on him.
Or to your point, if you stop him, then you can win with a field goal.
I'm saying, what if they go 3 like on the first series game and you get a sack or something? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like you make him go first. He wants to go last. He wants to know what he has to do. No, Pat. By all means, have it. Okay, that's what you do. Because then you know what you got to do, and he's defense at that point because he's on the sideline.
So let me ask you, now that we've seen this play out in the biggest fucking game of the year, do you like those overtime rules?
I was all for just playing another quarter and play out the whole quarter. That was my thing. I don't have a problem with this, but I would have preferred, I want to play another 15. See what's left. So, and then if they tie, play another 15. Right. Fuck it. Yeah. Let them settle it. Let them settle it.
So do you think it was weird that they didn't have to worry about the clock at the end?
Yeah, well,
because another quarter of overtime was going to start if they didn't score that touchdown.
Let's put it this way. I see the
Tiki Barber hated it.
I see both sides of this, and to me, I would rather have them just play another quarter, because then you don't have these fucking discussions. It's all about I played another 15 and that team proved to be better.
I see what you're saying.
That's the thing. I don't. This night
no who scores first.
Just you know what? We're another quarter. It's because then they're gonna settle it.
Right.
And that doesn't come down to a coach having to make a decision that may fuck them. No, another 15, 2 timeouts. Then you know what? Then it comes down. Let the fucking players settle it. And
because I've always said that. You don't have to change the way you're playing.
Just fucking play it out.
I kind of like that.
And to me, because then they decide it. Then they can't sit there and talk about shit like this.
Yeah.
And coaches don't get second guessed or have to overthink it. You know what? When we're on the 15, you guys fought it out. Fucking settle it.
See, I heard Tiki talking today, and he was saying he didn't like the fact that the clock meant nothing. He's like, because when there's urgency, it creates moments, it creates pressure, it creates
So if you're gonna do it, just play another fucking quarter. Right. Yeah. That way that we don't have to get into the whole. We're gonna play it out. Who's ahead at the end of this 15? If you're still tied, we'll fucking do it again. But you guys are gonna decide it. And as an athlete, that's all I want.
You think that's player safety though?
Then reserve it for the Super Bowl. It's the end of the fucking
year.
Yeah. Because to me, then, all right, at least on the biggest, the game that matters, they let them settle it. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand if you don't want to do it every week.
Every week.
I mean, but let's be honest. How many overtime?
It's only for the playoffs.
Yeah, but I know. But how many overtime games do we get during the season anyway? Not a lot. 4 or 5, maybe.
Yeah. No,
maybe
but
6.
I know they've talked about player safety because it's extra time on the field, like when you're already exhausted.
I would say this. Conference championship, Super Bowl. Because there's 2 weeks between the fucking.
Yeah, that's true.
That to me, that might be. That to me, that makes sense. You don't want to do it the whole season. I get that. You're right about that. Player safety, yes. But I don't think you could. You don't get a lot of.
Yeah, it's not too many.
But I get it because it can happen. I get it. But I think conference championship, Super Bowl would be perfect.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Because that way the top 4 teams, all right, they're there. Let them fucking decide. Then nobody can say. I
hadn't thought about it like that. I like that idea because it's like we're going to play one more quarter. Yeah. It's like we're playing another 4th quarter.
Yeah.
So play accordingly.
Play a quarter. Let's see what happens.
Play accordingly.
Yep.
Okay.
See what happens.
You need to be ahead by the time this clock ends.
Yep.
Or you need to be tied to keep playing.
Yeah. So I mean, to me, I think that way the players can say, all right, well, we played a whole other quarter and they got us. We got. Then you know you earned it. Okay. So to me, that's what I would do.
Dude, but I will say,
and I don't know that it'll ever happen, but
no,
but it probably won't. Because I think they like it the way it is. I'm not too. But he had a point. I don't like that either. I'm with you on that. I don't like how the clock doesn't matter.
Well, that was Tiki.
I agree with Tiki on that.
I hadn't thought about it, but thinking back, it was kind of weird when they were like, because we were thinking, why aren't you calling timeout? I think I was going, timeout. No. And then Roma was like, if you're wondering why they're not calling timeout, if the clock ends, they just continue the game in another overtime period. So even though the clock was running down, Kansas City would have started with the ball in the second overtime at the 2-yard line.
Like the quarter ending, like going from the first to the second quarter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which I didn't realize, but thinking about it, I like what you're talking about. I think it makes sense.
I think that way it's fair.
Yeah.
To me, it's as fair as it's going to get, and they can say they earned it. Yeah. So, but again,
it was exciting as fuck, though.
Again, to me, the better team won. They did. When you outgain them, when you put up 455 in yardage, you were the better team.
What did San Fran do?
385. It was comparable, but a lot of it was that last drive in overtime because San Fran's defense was gassed. Yeah. But this is where the offense needed to help out the defense because they, to your point, they held them down as long as they could.
Right.
The offense should have put them away and couldn't and didn't do it. So when I say that, and then the defense on top of it loses probably their best player in the middle of the second quarter. So
it's hard to blame their defense.
It's hard to blame. They just ran out of gas.
Yeah.
But the offense should not have run out of gas because they have an endless supply of ammunition. So that's what I don't get. I think it was mismanaged, misused, especially in the red zone. You got to be shitting me. I would give anything. All I can think about is what if Tom Brady had all that in the red zone? Like at one time. Oh, my God.
Dude, somebody posted something on Twitter, right? And it was assign different players in the Super Bowl their Avenger name. And somebody put Brock Purdy as Iron Man. And then somebody commented under and said, that's the perfect comparison because he's nothing without his weapons. Which is every quarterback, but it was
I would like to say that's every quarterback in this league.
But remember when we were joking earlier in the year, it was like,
if you don't
Brock Purdy doesn't have 8 weapons, then
you gotta have at least one stud, minimum one.
Purdy's got 4.
Yeah, he's got 4. I mean, but you got to have one. I mean, Mahomes has Kelsey. I would say that Lamar Jackson, Andrews when he's healthy, he's got him, but he's got Zay Flowers, who talent-wise can be that dude. He's got to take his head out of his ass, but from a talent perspective, he can be that dude. And again, there are other teams like this. Dallas has got those guys.
Burrow's got Chase
and Higgins and Boyd. So I'm just saying that they've all the great ones.
Not too many have as many as Purdy, though.
I think the only one that's close is Burrow. But those 3.
But I don't think they're not as good, right?
They beat him in San Fran in the regular season. They beat him 31-17.
Damn.
And
that's too bad that Burrow.
And Burrow. Now, Birdie and Burrow both played well, but Burrow was better. Purdy and Burrow both played well. Purdy was like 3-something and 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, but Burrow was 382, 3 touchdowns, no picks, and I think he only had 5 incompletions.
Why do I not even remember that game?
It happened in the middle of that. It was that 3-game losing streak. It was in there.
So they lost to the Browns, then to the Bengals.
Yeah, he was missing Debo, but if you look at what Kittles did in that game, what Ayuk and McCaffrey, he still had Kittles, Ayuk, and McCaffrey, and they went off, all 3 of them. So it wasn't like they didn't go to him; they did. But Burrow was just perfect.
Was that when Higgins went crazy for you in fantasy?
They all, yeah. No, actually, that Boyd was great. Boyd was because they were double teaming Chase, and then I don't know what happened with Higgins, but Boyd was singled up. Yeah. And he had 2 touchdowns. So that just told you how good they had. Yeah. So, I mean, but, look, this is the thing. I think for going forward, you look at all these quarterbacks, and now you got Harbaugh in San Diego with Hibbert. Let's just throw another log on the fire. Herbert, whatever his name is. The point is, the kid's talented. Now he's got a legit fucking coach.
Dude, but I wanted to say one more thing about overtime that I really loved, okay? Because that's the first time we've really seen a full overtime, both
teams got the ball.
In post. I mean, but it went down. They played the entire. Yeah. They scored with what? 8 seconds left.
Yeah, 12 seconds.
12, something like that. Because when the Pats won, I mean, they just once it went to overtime, you were like, this fucking game is over, and they were like,
the thing is, Atlanta was stunned.
Yeah,
and then now they get the ball. Oh, fuck,
exactly.
And then
Brady was like, bip, boop, beep,
Brady was
bap,
like, bing, bang, boom. It's just like Brady made a throw on that sideline that was probably one of the prettiest throws I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, but he can't make all the throws that, Pat Mahomes and Matt Stafford. I'm just kidding.
Pat Mahomes, Matt Stafford, Steve Young, John Elway, all Peyton Manning.
No, but I wanted to say this about overtime and why I really loved it. Because, for the first 3 quarters of the game, we watched the game, but it was during the party, so there was a lot of noise, So as much as you could watch it, you couldn't really absorb it.
That fourth
quarter, a lot of people had left.
Yeah, everybody was locked in.
And then we were locked in.
We were locked in.
And then it went to, so we saw like
Yeah.
3/4 of the fourth and overtime locked in pretty much. That was fun.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, for
'cause-
you it was. For me, watching the Niners find a way to blow it was not fun.
But you picked KC. But you wanted the Niners.
I wanted the
to win,
Niners. I knew Casey was going to win. It's like, so
It was
because
still exciting though. It was
inevitable. It was inevitable. And every time the Niners went, there, just the signs were there all night long.
he was scaring my dog for an hour because
I mean,
he kept doing
no,
that.
because every time the Niners had a chance to put him down,
Jesus.
they would do that. Every time the Niners had a chance to, somebody would go, oh, sorry, coach.
Pooped the bed.
Pooped every time. It was almost on cue. And every quarter was a different guy. First it was
Speaking of pooped the
McCaffrey.
bed, let me look at the Knicks score.
Oh, the Knicks, the Knicks are on freaking.
poor Knicks
The
have
Knicks
so
are on
many
ER.
people
The Knicks are
hurt.
on life support
My
because all their
God.
guys are out. 3 starters
Knicks
still.
made all these great trades, and now
They're all hurt. They're all fucking hurt.
69-69. They came back 16 down.
Don't watch them anymore. They're the jinx. Let them go.
Yeah,
Anyway, we're going to take a break. Come back. Segment 2, NBA. We'll talk hoops. We also talked. We're going to give you our first college rankings because we're now into mid-February. It's heating
I know
up.
nothing about
But
college.
this is where we start tonight. We start tonight, America, because I'll tell you right now, the ACC has 3 dogs in this race now, and I'll tell you that they're getting disrespected. We will talk about it. Plus, VCU with a big
Plus,
win.
I don't know.
Big win.
I went to the
Tommy,
VCU game
a
last
10 of the
Friday.
game. They beat ranked. Dayton was it Dayton?
Ranked Dayton, 18.
And a Donnie.
Ranked
And a
18.
Donnie, right up the hill over here. And so we're going to regale with that, talk about our little early March Madness preview, and give you the top 25 and tell you what the schedule looks like. We'll see you on the other side. Yoda, Joe Boo, Betty in the hizzy. See you in a bit.
In the hizzy.